to the Central Texas Command Center.
In the heart of the resistance, you're listening to the Alex Jones Show.
Okay, we're going to finish up our live report from the University of Texas here in a moment and get into all the other news. We're also going to be opening the phones up in the rest of this hour and in the second hour today. In the third hour, Alex Abella will be joining us. And he is the New York Times best-selling author and Emmy-nominated TV reporter and screenwriter. Alex Abella is an author of Soldiers of Reason, the Rand Corporation, and the American Empire, a study of the world's most influential think tank, published by Harcourt. Alex was the first journalist to have full access to Rand's files in Santa Monica, California. And they didn't like the result of his book, I'll tell you that. He also wrote the nonfiction work, includes Shadow Enemies, a nonfiction account of a plot by Adolf Hitler to start a wave of terror and destruction in the United States. We'll talk to him about that as well. He was also born in Cuba, migrated with his family to the United States at age 10, so we'll get his view also on what it's like to live in an authoritarian state. Going to be a very informative and thought-provoking interview coming up in the third hour today. But we now take you live back to the University of Texas, where a lone shooter reportedly, allegedly, the government lies so much you never can believe really anything they say, but sometimes there are lone nuts, supposedly opened fire, but no one was shot or killed, thank God, and then reportedly killed himself. Then they said somebody else might have been with him, and that's who they're looking for, and that's their excuse to be clamping down on the university and trying to keep the press more than a mile back. Any other observations, Matt Ryan, that you or Douglas have to make here?
Right now, Douglas is over actually getting a statement from Austin Police Department, so we might have more information for you on that. It looks like the two helicopters we saw earlier, the unmarked black helicopters, or dark helicopters to be more specific, have left, and they've been replaced by one black and white, clearly identifiable APD helicopter.
Now, how did you just describe the helicopters? Dark or DARPA? Dark. They were either a darkish gray, a black, or a deep olive. Yeah, generally they're blackish gray because they have a radar-reducing paint on them, and they're also designed for night missions, and FEMA has them, Homeland Security, Northcom, Brigade, Homeland, and we do know that more and more military is showing up in places like Alabama and California at shooting scenes. You want to walk over to Douglas where he's getting this statement?
Sure.
So while he's moseying over to Douglas, our reporter, getting a videotaped statement from the Austin Police Department, I'll just, again, add that Charles Whitman, back in 1966, and we'll put the Wikipedia page up on him, of course, fired from the UT Tower. And, in fact, blow that up so I can read it. I believe he killed 14 people and wounded quite a few more. And, indeed, my memory serves correctly. Charles Joseph Whitman was a student at the University of Texas at Austin and an ex-Marine who killed 14 people, wounded 32 others during a shooting rampage at and around the university campus in August 1st, 1966. And he would have killed a lot more if the SWAT teams would have showed up and made everybody stand down. But they didn't have SWAT teams then. They were just being formed in L.A. at the time. So they just sent good old-fashioned cops up to blow that guy away. Saved a lot of lives. Let's go to the cell phone connection with the statement from the Austin Police Department, see what we can get. Here it is. Matt, are you now there where he's getting the statement?
They're not giving a statement at the moment. Let me see. I'm over. They're actually sweeping the cars around the area with K9 patrol, so I was shooting that.
Okay. Anything else in closing you want to add about what you've seen down there?
I think that we covered everything that we saw. I did overhear that one of the gunmen, I believe it was the one that didn't commit suicide, was running down the street near UT, and I guess he ducked inside of a church for cover. And that was the only bit of information that I was able to pick up.
But during these situations, there's a lot of panicking. I mean, Just because somebody, an old lady or a cab driver, who knows, said they saw someone running while they heard a shooting was going on. I mean, what do you expect people to do?
Exactly.
I mean, so on the ground, they're still talking about other shooters because, you know, going back 3 hours ago, they'd already stopped saying that and just said another suspect.
You know, this was gleaned from some other reporters. We were over by the news van, so it's definitely hearsay. I don't know if they're switching their story, but they seemed like they were going with that story, the news.
Yeah, hyping the fear, milking the fear for everything. It's everything.
Well, you don't want it to be over.
Do you think? Let me ask you this question on air. What's your gut, Douglas? You want to come on in with the video you've got, so we have time to grab a few clips and play them in the next hour of these black helicopters and some of the military people, or do you guys think you should stay down there?
Well, I don't think much is happening here anymore, and right after we shot and you started mentioning the black helicopters are gone. They've now been replaced by, you know, regular police black and white helicopters.
But you do have the black helicopters on video.
I do have a shot of the helicopters on video.
Okay, well, why don't you guys come on in right now?
Okay, we'll do.
Okay, thanks a lot. Good job reporting down there at the University of Texas at Austin. Again, the reported shooter is dead. Great news that no one else was injured or killed. Certainly a big silver lining in that situation. I want to fire out the toll-free number for listeners to join us. The toll-free number is 1-800-259-9231, 800-259-9231, and we'll take a round or two of calls as soon as the second hour kicks off ahead of the guests we've got on the RAND Corporation and a lot more. A very interesting researcher and historian joining us coming up in the third hour, specifically Emmy-nominated TV reporter as well. So looking forward to that coming up in T-minus 1 hour and 20 minutes from now here on the syndicated radio transmission. I did want to throw in for listeners that the tour of the new studio we're building in the last year, that's now completed, we just have to put the equipment in, is up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. It's also at the Alex Jones channel on YouTube. You can click on any news article at Infowars.com, and there's some little links up at the top. You'll see the YouTube symbol. You can click on that. It'll take you to our channel. And we are hoping ahead of the money bomb and our goal to raise $500,000, which anybody that's built a TV studio knows that's a pittance, really. But that'll get it done and even hire a few of the people we need for the next year, as we're doing it on the cheaps, that people can start donating now to the money bomb if they want. But the big drive will be on October 14th, 2010. Coming up in about 16, 17 days from now. But for all of you that wanted to see that tour of the new studios and a behind the scenes here at the office, that video is up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And I wanted to thank all those that have already donated. We've raised over $30,000 at the Money Bomb. The problem is this operation cost around $200,000 a month to run. And as the economy continues to melt down and our audience swells, the capital is slowing. And so it's important to buy the books, the DVDs, the T-shirts, all the materials that are deeply discounted at Infowars.com is one way to support, or just straight up donate at InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com. And if we're able to do that, we'll be able to expand the studio, launch that in a quicker fashion. If not, I'm going to have to make some adjustments, and we don't want to do that. We need to not just stay where we're at in the InfoWar, which is hard enough, but expand in the face of it. And we couldn't have done any of this without you. So InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com. You can also write to us at P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas 78760. Again, P.O. Box 19549.